So, memes. Now that you're talking about memes, it's not that I'm saying absolutely no memes, but I just discourage them. I don't think they really add anything of any use. I did once try to outright ban them and had a massive knockback, but I don't like them very much. That's all. I don't think they add anything. Right, so Volma. We're going to go for Volma? I think we're going to go for Volma, because we've already got a huge amount of morale, thanks to being a republic. Elifie, thank you very much for the follow. And Ethan Plays Games, thank you also very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. And Jaywee, sorry about that, I missed that one earlier. And the Superfin already said. Thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Puns, on the other hand. Puns I encourage. Hansa occupied Lund. We're about to take that as well. Oh, I can walk through here. Ho-ho. Actually, I think I'm going to switch you two around. We'll have Mitteljutland as the transport port, seeing as it faces out into the Atlantic and I can use it to reinforce more quickly. Several prominent men in the country are pointing out that the path we are going when it comes to army research is utterly foolish and will amount to nothing. They demand we stop this current approach and stick with what was good enough for our fathers. They have a point, or we can ignore them. I don't really want to spend more military power, so we'll take the prestige. We're at war, we're going to get it back. Now, one thing I do need to do is grab 2 units of Mercenaries infantry and send them to the colony where we lost them previously. Poor Denmark. Ah, they're suffering almost as badly as Britain did. It's been a long time coming, though. So who's done most of the work here? I have. Good. So I should get the majority of the rewards, right? Is the Green Nation Pomerania, Stettin. Yeah, Sindrin was around last night, Marshal. Honestly, they could simplify the advisor interface by making them all level 1, letting you promote to the level you want. True, but that is quite expensive. This is one of the areas where I don't actually mind the RNG that much. What do you call a man from the Netherlands who's also flying on an aeroplane? The Flying Dutchman! The pun-based economy of this channel is strong and just good business. Puns are good business. I thought Pomerania still existed. I thought Stettin was one of Pomerania's vassals. Because it's Pomerania that can release Rugen. I don't think it's Stettin that can. I do reserve the right to be wrong, though. 71%, come on! If this fails, good. Kill that army. Scotland has rivaled me. Scotland! The number 3 greatest power in the world, rivaled by Scotland. It's your funeral. That also means that I can rival them. Except I like my rivals more. Although I'm far more likely to go to war with Scotland in the near future. Oh, damn, you've had an uprising before I could get any troops there. Bugger! Should have been a little bit more on the ball when it came to that. Hopefully they don't destroy that colony. They might. What's the ferocity of the natives here like? Oh, low. And it's a pretty big settlement, so we've got 656 settlers. How many are we going to lose? Brunswick's being integrated, good stuff. No, 486, they killed 200. Alright, well, we'll have a garrison there for next time. Austria. Who are you fighting? You're fighting Bohemia, are you? Bohemia and the Ottomans. And the Papal States. Austria? I'm impressed. Saxony and Austria are fighting all of that. Austria do still have some troops that are available. Of course, Austria went Protestant. Yeah, we like Austria. Austria, awesome. In fact, I was going to say, aren't we allied to Austria? But not right now, no. We probably should be. Give him hell. Siegfried Volmer. Drillmaster par excellence, Siegfried Volmer has turned our army into a clockwork automaton that don't flinch on the battlefield. So we gain prestige or admin, plus 10% discipline for 6 years. Well, I don't really need 50 prestige, so I'll take the admin. How much of this piece am I going to get? Considering the work I've done, probably a fair amount. You know what? I'm going to assign the strategic interest again. Because the northern section I don't really care about, but the southern Norway I want. For more control over the North Sea. Just in time. Bergenhus, good. Denmark will cede Reval, Mittau, Livland and Dorplat to Poland. Denmark will cede Bergenhus, Kristiansand and Bratsburg to the Hansa. Denmark will renounce their claims on Narva. Denmark will pay money, of which I get 23. Hansa gets 20 aggressive expansion. Poland owes me 40 favours. From that? 40? Alright, cool. I ain't complaining. However, how's my aggressive expansion from this? Sweden doesn't like me very much. Denmark really doesn't. England... nobody's that bothered. They're like, it's fine. And now that we have subjugated Norway, we lose 5 years of separatism in basically the entirety of Norway. And we've secured the North Sea trade. Oh, we should read that as well. The Norwegians have long wanted to be rid of the Hanseatic influences. We should not oblige them with this wish. Instead, we should make ourselves their masters. And then North Sea trade, which we now have. We gain trade steering plus 20%, which is completely useless, seeing as our ID is something like number 1000 as a new nation. Secure the North Sea trade. In the past, our main source of wealth was always trade with the East. Now, however, the riches of Russia are increasingly dwarfed by the immense wealth flowing from the colonies to Europe. The northern conduit of these new trade routes is through the North Sea to the Low Countries and England. But perhaps we should persuade these traders to sail to Lubeck instead. And we gained an explorer, which is pretty much irrelevant at this stage. Newfoundland trading posts. This will get us the centre of trade in Beothuk. No longer called Avalon. Will also give us some base production. Explorers speak of a bountiful new land to the far west. It would be unwise to leave the exploitation of it to others. And then all we have left is New Lubeck and then these generic ones on the side. I just need to take New York. No, I mean New Lubeck. Okay, so core. This is definitely going to send us over the governing capacity. What are the penalties? Stab cost, advisor cost, improved relations, core, creation, aggressive expansion. Okay. Gained the Conquer CB against Denmark and Iceland. Oh, I forgot that Iceland was independent. I think I'm actually going to leave Iceland independent, because that's kind of cool. Okay, so how can I help you, Austria? You're fighting great powers. I wonder if I can intervene. I think I probably can. Although my armies are going to be nowhere near for quite a long time. Saxony, yes, absolutely. Have access. Have I considered building state buildings that reduce governing capacity of provinces? It's not going to be a problem. I have ways of dealing with it, not to mention just, you know, technology. I'm not really intending to expand more than this. I've got what I wanted. Can vassalize Iceland, just feed them the remaining Danish provinces, just for fun. I must admit I am very tempted to declare war on Iceland just to flip them Protestant, but other than that, I'm just going to let them live. I love the fact that there's an independent Iceland. That's a big Cuba. Crikey. They've taken out Congo. And Cuba Luba exists. So does Lunda, but Cuba Luba doing well. Bjorn B would be proud. Please say they're allied. Yep. Secret societies in government. The full extent of the guild's activity is really only known to the members. Since guilds exist in part to manage knowledge, this is inevitable, but also leads to allegations of conspiracies. You have paid little attention to these ideas, considering them parallel to Syndic, a republic is in danger. We cannot speak here. A noble drags you to the side and talks in a whispered voice at length about who may or may not be part of the secret guilds within the government of the Hanseatic League. He names other nobles who are equally concerned. So many, in fact, that his own side seems more like a conspiracy than the one he accuses. Even so, there is no doubt that the aristocrats of the Hanseatic League feel threatened by the possible secret societies the guilds have brought into existence. Leave it unaddressed, or let those known to be loyal investigate this. Aristos gain influence, guilds lose influence, we gain prestige. Advisor cost goes up by 25% for 3 years. No, it's fine. Factions take over, guilds. I'm about to get myself into a big old scuffle. There needs to be at least one great power on each side of the war. There is! On their side! Our side doesn't have any. And it's Saxony that's being attacked. We can't intervene. Too bad. I would have. Right, we also have the Brunswick army. Oh, no, do they have an army? They must do somewhere. Oh, you can't get home unless you have a ship. I see what the problem is. And my ships are still all the way over here. The only reason these guys can get home is because they're exiled. Need to make sure you don't go through Elfborg. Oh no, Vasco died. Well, actually, we got a free explorer, didn't we? Who can take charge of this? Niklas Grunewald. Enforced peace is the option for non-Great Wars. Saxony hates me too much. Because I just annexed a member. Right after this, though, I think I am going to send an alliance offer to Austria. I do have a relation slot available. Do I still have a trade league? Yes. Otherwise I would have 6 available slots, not 5. Why waste it on Austria? Well, Austria is not the emperor here, and they are one of, or they were one of the few Protestant nations, but they've just flipped back to Catholic. Oh, screw them. Let them burn. Oh no, they're currently showing Catholic because of Bohemia. Never mind. Nope. This is one of the few opportunities where I have to actually like Austria. I think you're already allied with Austria. Oh yes, I am. It's because they're not in the war. That's what the problem is. I mean, they are in the war, but they're not the war leader, so I didn't get called in. Well, let's continue to improve relations with the Austrians. And then let's also stop sending you subsidies, because that's just going to go into a peace deal. Ah, we need some troops over there. That can be arranged. In fact, speaking of that, I would like to build a fort in Beorthuk, seeing as it's a centre of trade now. Well, it's currently being... yeah, never mind. And we're also going to start converting you. And then once the cores are finished, we'll start converting some more stuff. Den Anden Stormandrukning. In the evening of the great storm and the bad weather rose from the southwest out of the sea. The wind began to blow so hard that no sleep could touch our eyes. When we'd been lying in bed for about an hour, my son said to me, "Father, I feel water dripping on my face." The waves were rising up at the sea dike and onto the roof of the house. It was a very frightening sound. A sudden storm tide has struck the coast of Schleswig and Dithmarschen, overrunning the dikes and covering the entire North Frisian countryside in water. As the water levels rise, thousands of people are killed or displaced. Entire islands and settlements have been washed away by the waves, never to be seen again. Lose 4 dev. Ouch. That was a tsunami, I guess. It was apparently a Norwegian tsunami which created Britain. Previously, Britain was connected to the continent, basically through the channel. This was actually land. And then a mountain collapsed or something in Norway. Or a huge landslide fell off of a mountain, something like that. Caused a tsunami which washed out the channel. One of our cloth suppliers has been found to be supplying substandard cloth for the army uniforms. We understand these troops are not impressed. It was also Doggerland. Yeah, it might have been like here rather than down here. I'm not 100% sure. But it was Doggerland, so it was probably this bit connecting. Like this. It was low lying, it was a swamp, but it was land. Didn't realise it was a tsunami. Thought it was just rising sea from melting ice. No, it was a tsunami. There have apparently been quite a few from Norway. And it's probably one of the greatest natural threats that faces Britain are tsunamis. Like, we don't get hurricanes, we don't get earthquakes, but tsunamis we can do. But they're not earthquake-triggered tsunamis, they are landfall-triggered tsunamis. Austria has embraced global trade. Is that something we're still to embrace? I'm guessing that we have global trade already, seeing as we spawned it. Yeah. So many factories is going to be next in 18 years, so we've still got some time. Right, how are we doing for naval force limit? We are quite a bit over, but that's mostly, I suspect, because of the galleys. And I don't really see us needing those anymore. We have 25 heavy ships. I don't think we need 40 galleys. And getting rid of those galleys will mean that I can get more light ships instead. So let's take a quick look at this. Light ships become available Diplo 19. So I think at that point we're going to grab them. Austria and Bohemia are now rivals. Did Austria lose land in that war? I suspect they probably did. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did. Well, in that case, don't cancel those subsidies. I want Austria to get bigger again, because Austria is kind of my southern bulwark against all of the Catholic nations down there. The only Catholic that I will suffer is Poland, because Poland has actually been a pretty good ally. Right, where are my transports? Oh, they've arrived already. Meanwhile, Oldenburg uprising, which Oldenburg's dealing with themselves, because that was the smallest uprising I think I've ever seen. And Dragon Ivan is now an inspirational leader. Danish, English, Norwegian uprising. Separatists. Colonialism against the Bretons. Have you cut me off? No. Moiska has. And actually expanding into Moiska would be an easy way of creating this colony. So once you're established, I think I'm going to go and attack Moiska. Imports compete with the Hanseatic quality goods. Our neighbours have established a large colonial presence in the New World. The exports from this distant land have been steadily increasing, and some of these exotic goods have become very popular even amongst those who should know better than to be dazzled by curiosities. Recently, our neighbours have gone further, openly fueling this interest, encouraging people to buy American. They are then pushing for more imports from the colonies, outcompeting our own goods and depriving the Hanseatic people of work. We might get something out of this influx of foreign trade, but the safest option would be to erect barriers to reduce it. Let's see what these colonies have to offer. That just increases relations and trade steering, which is useless. Or we gain 2 mercantilism and piss off the English. Perfect. Huzzah! National Bank pays dividends. Several shrewd loans have led to very good profits in the National Bank. The bank is hiking its dividend and buying back some of the shares. We are going to use some of that to repay a loan. Bohemia is embargoing us. I'm pretty sure I'm already embargoing you. Yes. And mill is about to go up, so I think what I'm going to do is develop the military in some cattle provinces and some fish provinces, seeing as that's where we can get manpower. Lincolnshire has been caught. Natives in Neu-Nürnberg adopt Lower Saxon culture. And Beathuk is still changing. You are now Lower Saxon. Perfect. And you've also converted to Protestantism. So, putting our settler here has had the intended effect. Did the other colony finish? No. Still going, slowly but surely. And yes, I know I have a missionary available. I'm waiting for these cores to finish because I want to keep converting Newfoundland. So Beathuk will be next. England gets more tornadoes than any other country in the world per area, but they're very weak tornadoes. There's only ever been one F3 on a 0 to 5 scale and only 4 F2s among the many thousands. Interesting.